Alright, greetings and salutations, my name is Comic Fire, and welcome back for more Dragon Quest IX. In the last episode, we made it to the Realm of the Mighty, and in this episode, we're gonna go through the Realm of the Mighty. And this is it, guys. This is the final dungeon in the I was about to say the post-game, wow. No, this is the final dungeon till the post-game. This is the last story dungeon in the game. Well, last main story dungeon. Like I said, there are some quests that have story. But, we're not doing story quests right now. We will be doing them. But not right now. Because we have to get to the end first. Now, there are a lot of good treasures here, so, I want to try to nab them. Especially one that I said I would do a whole video on, but I kind of forgot where the item was in the first place, so I can just take this gameplay footage and edit it in to that video later on. I'm sorry if I'm a little burpy, I just drank a soda. You ever have that thing where like you can't like get a burp out and you're trying to talk and it just keeps poking its annoying little head in, and the burp keeps poking its annoying little head in and you just can't seem to talk right. But then you can't burp too, so it sucks. I'm probably looking too deeply into this. Anyway. The Realm of the Mighty isn't too difficult from what I remember. But I don't remember much about this dungeon, so I don't remember much about this game in general. For all intents and purposes, any game that I LP that I haven't played in 5-odd years like this, it's mostly a blind LP. I go based on long-standing prejudices I may have had, like, and prejudice might not be the right word for it. Just ideas that I definitely had, like, I want this party set up, or this sounds cool, why don't I do this? No, don't hurt Dustfeld. You had one job. Boy, even the Cure Slimes are hitting kind of hard. Maybe I should have saved that for the Gigantus. For some reason I had it in my mind that Comic would be faster. I guess it didn't matter in the end. So, let's continue sort of with that, but let's get a Caduceus going on Dustfeld, because he is in TR Ubble. He's no longer in TR Ubble, but Gigantus, no! Oh god. Whenever enemies have super big wind-ups for their attack, you know it's going to be a critical hit. Speaking of critical hits, eat shit, Gigantus. Give a lot of experience, too. Not bad. If you're still hunting metal slimes at all, just stop. It's not worth the effort at this point. Now, I almost kind of want to get into a battle to pop off a Caduceus, but if I have to multi-heal, so much the better. Guess we're just going on then. Cool. This really isn't final dungeon music. Though, Dragon Quest has never really been about grand, sweeping final dungeon music. If I remember correctly, like the first 3 games just had the normal dungeon music even for the final boss. Though, I believe 1 and 3's Game Boy Color remakes had that thing where, like, the music would get, like, lower pitched and slower the further down into the dungeon you went, which I thought was wicked cool. Especially when you hit the bottom and it was just like this horror track almost. But I'm just really fond of the Game Boy Color remakes in general because of their graphical style. Get another mini-medal. We're getting a lot of those. That thing is ungodly terrifying. What the hell is that? Cobra Cardinals. They are certainly Cardinals. Let's go for a multi-thrust because I'm getting kind of scared. And on the Charmer. Thank God we don't have any magic users. It just isn't the kind of game where they're good. Why do they have against Val today? I'm usually all down for that because of her little damagey armor, but this just doesn't seem to be her day with it. Yeah, not bad. I was gonna say probably go for a multi-thrust, but another Caduceus will probably do everyone just fine. Who's the charmed one now, Charmer? Oh wow, that's even better XP than the Gigantes. The Gigantes, or however you pronounce it. The Gigantes! But it looks like there might be Fudge! Wow, I almost got really upset by that. Whatever. It's the final dungeon, I might as well. Because I do intend for the final dungeon to be its own episode, because I want the final boss to have their own episode. Oh, am I kidding? You know perfectly well the final boss is. I want Corvus to... Oh my god! I want Corvus to have his own episode. I feel like a final boss deserves its own episode, you know? Not just shoved onto the tail end of something. Except in the case of Dragon Warrior 1, where the ending is like 2 minutes long, so that wasn't even worth it. Where the ending is like 2 minutes long, so you kind of have to shove the final... Fuck it. Is that a palette swap of Gorham Hog? Well, no, there's just straight up Gorham Hog, so... You know. Boy, howdy. I didn't see that. Will this work? Of course not. When does running ever work in RP? And fuck off with your Zamel. That's another thing I kind of don't like about Dragon Quest 7 and 8, like, or just the non-first-person Dragon Quest. The battle system goes more cinematic than... Thank you, I was about to say. It goes more cinematic than as fast as the earlier games did, and that kind of bugs me. Well, there's you again. I kind of forgot I had to fight the Triumvirate again, but whatever. Let's go for a Falcon Slash of Kizzity course. You can really just straight up attack at this point. Just Gorham Hog. I say it's just Gorham Hog, but I throw out multi-heals now. Good. I liked that. It dealt a lot of good damage that round. I don't know, the more cinematic a gameplay style gets, the slower the battles seem to go. Unlike, I say a big counter to that is Final Fantasy XIII that's very cinematic, yet the battle system is lightning quick. No pun intended. That was about as easy as Gigantes was. Okay. People talk shit about 13. It's my favorite Final Fantasy. And every time I tell people that, they're like, are you joking, dude? I legitimately believed that 13 should have been the formula for all RPGs to follow. Though Bravely Default showed me that maybe that should only be the case for HD RPGs. And then Final Fantasy 15 turned around and maybe I think that should be the formula for all RPGs. But if you're just gonna go straight up turn-based, I still think 13 system is one of the greatest I've ever seen. Like, people are always like, oh, it's just mash A or X to win, and people who say that haven't played the game. Or they didn't get any further than, like, Chapter 1 or 2. Because that's a good way to get yourself killed real quick. I love 13. Of course, I always capitalize on that by saying I loathe Final Fantasy IX, which also shoots my credibility for a lot of people. but 9 perfectly capitalizes what I hated about what I just said. Cinematic experience slowing down the gameplay. And they perfectly said they lowered the frame rate so 9 could look beautiful in battle. And 9 looks great, and it has a great story. But if I have to play Final Fantasy IX for a minute, I want to die. Because it's super slow, battles take forever to get into. There's input delay in battles, I don't want to hit attack and then wait 5 seconds to attack. And people yell at me for that, like Final Fantasy IX is perfect. No, it sucks, you know that. Don't let your nostalgia blind you. I believe the item I was talking about is over here. Which means I'm also a bit further into this dungeon than I remembered. You know what this reminds me of? Pokemon Platinum's Distortion world, almost. Speaking of games I dislike that people love, I don't think Platinum is as good as Diamond and Pearl. The Distortion world was boring. The script changes were boring, and I don't know. Wow, I'm not getting into this. Oh, these are the fuckers that attack twice, right? Like, I don't know. Things can be beautiful and not sacrifice gameplay. Of course, some people are like, you just said you liked Final Fantasy 13, and... Look, if you, it's always the people who loved, like, say, 10 was the last real Final Fantasy that hate 13, and they're the same damn game. They have literally the exact same problems. Super linear, which is half the reason people complain. Like, 10's battle system was complicated. What's complicated about just changing characters to suit your need? Like in 13, switching paradigms on the fly. Oh shoot, am I back to the beginning area? That's not what I wanted. Switching paradigms to suit your needs, aka, or switching characters like Lulu to take on elementals or Waka to take on flying enemies, same basic concept. Super linear pathways with occasional branches off that have treasure behind it. Stories are a subjective thing, I can't compare the two, I like them both. Big emphasis on cutscenes. And, wow, 1 went away and 2 took its place. Can I make it? Yes! And 10's postgame just devolves into mash quick hit until you're no longer in danger. So, I don't know. Well, those are the things we have to kill with Frizz to get the Sage job class, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to leave that for some post-game fun. Do I want to? Nope. That's not worth it. If I'm gonna be showing off the post-game stuff, Oh, dude. If I'm gonna be showing off the post-game stuff, I'm gonna be coming back here anyway. So that's my rant about video games that people love. Some people think I shitpost with my opinions, but I truly believe them. Alright, buddy, we took out Gormhog in like 3 turns, and you don't have your Karmers. What do you plan to do? What would you say you do here? How would you feel if you were like some sort of either like royalty or some big military figure, and some pretty boy with a vendetta against an entire species just told you to sit around in a hallway and wait for a bunch of people that have killed you once before and have them probably kill you again? How would you feel? Ooh, copper is... Fortunately, it just passed harmlessly through, dust belts. Like, whatever. Oh, it spoiled the critical hit for me. Was that... I think that was 3 turns, yeah? Or was that 2 turns? Either way, Steam leveled up, not bad. And Dustfeld leveled up. And holy crap, like everyone's leveling up except me. Ooh, Malicite. I don't know what that is. Never really got into the alchemy system in this game, but I've explained that before. I feel like that texture didn't load. Please? A Fern Fiend. I'm sure there's a pun in there, I'm just missing it. If you ever told me that Dustfeld would hit 151 in any circumstance, I would have laughed at you. Beyond, like, hitting a slime with the current equipment he has on, but... the last dungeon's enemy? Ooh, Poison Swamp. Or just Poison Floor Trap. It's not really swamp anymore. I guess in dungeons it was never swamp. Well, I came all the way here for treasure, so it better be real fucking nice. It's a spell ward circlet, which I believe endows you with bounce. Her. Nice. Oh boy, this just screams this is the end. Oh, I swear that treasure's around here somewhere. Well, if not, I intended to make a video on all the equipment of its kind, so... whatever, right? Oh, nice. We got a we got 2... ooh, a special into strong. The dankest of weeds. Hey there, Gorsby Purvis. Demoted to another... Now, you see, I like that. No allegiance towards Corvus. In fact, he seems to honestly kind of hate him. Just, let's fucking go, buddy. You're strong, I respect that. Let's have a duel to the death. I respect that. Overused trope? Maybe. But I still think it's cool as hell. And it makes him a lot more likable than just, oh, dude, Corvus brought me back, I love him. Nope, that's dumb. This is cool. Gorsby Purvis is cool. Fortunately, I'm even stronger than I was before. I'm gonna save Val's MP because I don't know if there's an option to heal right before the final boss. You penis! Ah, that still made you hurt. Nice. Whatever. And he's no pushover either, I like that. Unfortunately, I need to heal. Or else I'm gonna get fizzity. Nice! Double nice! Putting that shield to good use. And we're full up, really, so, what's your plan there, Gorsby? Plan is to not die. You are significantly bulkier than the rest of your friends. I wonder if a boss has ever killed itself with, like, the, ow? With the recoil from that one, armor that Val has on. That was still incredibly satisfying. Had a very punchy sound effect. What do we get? Do we get an agility ring? Nice. Kinda wish we could have heard more of them, but... you know, this is still good. This is good, isn't it? I feel like we're getting close to the end, and I'm, I would dig a healing spot right about now. Well, all roads seem to lead to Rome here, so, oh. Well, I'm not going to be fighting you yet. Final boss? No thank you, I'm rather weak at the moment. Hey, I realized I was just here, but, sorry. Anything? Well, given that there seems to be no option to heal everywhere else, why don't I use some of this? Well, actually, wait. No, I don't want to organize items, I want to use the bag. Because if I'm not mistaken... Well, I have all these seeds of agility I should probably use, so, make sure Dustfeld is super fast so he can heal whenever I need him to. A seed of deftness. I know not what that does, but mine is rather low. Let's patch that up a bit. Max HP should be higher. You could definitely stand to benefit from that. Alchemy ingredients. Seed of defense, you could also definitely use some of that. Now, I guess I was mistaken, so whatever. My plan was to use the prayer ring, or just like I thought it was going to be like the wizard's ring that in earlier games, where you could use it over and over again, and it would give you some MP back, but the more you used it, the higher chance it had of breaking and going away forever. Well, we have multiple Sage's elixirs, but I definitely want a couple more. Saint's ashes. Who would just use the ashes of a dead guy for their own purposes? That's sketchy as hell. I would like to transfer that over to Steam, since he has basically nothing in his inventory. Tangleweb lowers speed. Let's throw that into Comics Bag. Get rid of the antidotal herb, since we're not gonna need those. I figured you could use Thunderball to use like a zap spell or something, but... whatever, friend. I care not. So, that appears to be all we can do right now, so, next episode of Dragon Quest IX, to the finale!